Welcome back, everyone, to the fifth episode of our weekly State of Crypto webinar. My name is Hansen. I'll be your host today, and as always, it's my pleasure to welcome you on behalf of 21Shares. For those of you who don't know us yet, we are the Swiss issuer of passive investment trackers for crypto assets. Our business is very straightforward. We wrap crypto assets into a familiar ETP structure with an ISIN in different currencies so that asset managers, family offices, any institution really can get exposure to this asset class without the technical and regulatory hurdles. Now, so I'm sure that many of our guests here check the SMI and the S&P and Euro stocks when they wake up and get their morning coffee. We do the same, but we also look at the crypto market. And today we woke up to Bitcoin increasing by 16% in the last 24 hours. And even for crypto standards, where we are used to increased volatility, that's quite a large price movement. Which is why I'm particularly looking forward to today's episode, where my colleague, Mr. Davide Vicini, will give us a market update to shine some light on the recent price movements. And Mr. Laro Ige, who's our researcher, will walk us through some of the tools used to actually value Bitcoin. So very exciting episode. Now, the presentations will be short, and if you have questions or comments, you can write them in the Q&A section, which you find on the bottom of the screen, and we will answer them at the end after both presentations. And if you want to learn more about our products, feel free to reach out to Zina, who heads our business development here in Switzerland. Her contact details are here. Now, before we start, the quick news of the week, and this week we chose some news that are close to home. So you might know that Switzerland is actually a global hub for crypto, right? Particularly Zug, which has earned the name of Crypto Valley and is home to, I think, hundreds of crypto companies. And in a recent survey of the 50 largest operating crypto companies here in Zug and Zurich, only half said that they would survive the next 12 months under the current circumstances. So as a result, the Swiss government last week announced that they want to give startups, particularly crypto startups, 154 million francs in credit guarantees to bridge the current economic situation. And that really shows us how serious Switzerland is about the topic of blockchain, about maintaining a global leadership role by providing such services to crypto startups. I mean, the whole world is burning, every industry is affected, but Switzerland makes it a priority to include crypto startups, in their policy. Now, that's it from my side. Thank you everyone for joining. I wish you lots of fun. And now here's Mr. Davide Vicini with the market update.
Thank you, Hansen. Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you all back coming from these days of bull run. So before we start seeing the technical analysis and what happened these last 2 days, let's recap a bit the market. We see the top 5 cryptocurrency all increased in the last week with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple over the 20% performance, and Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV following in 17 and 14% increase over the last week. Just a little recap before we go into the technicalities and the analysis. Last week, we talked about Tezos, the prominent proof of stake coin, and against Bitcoin, the leading proof of work coin. A little comparison here, market cap, very different. Tezos is rising up. The average holding time as well, very different. Bitcoin, we know that many traders, many people are accumulating Bitcoin, so their average holding time in their wallet it's much longer, while Tezos remain an upward speculative coin, and we see traders and retailers that actually holds it for less time, 28 days in average. The sentiment is for both very bullish. Retail and traders are 72% bullish on Bitcoin and 63% on the buy side for Tezos. Now let's go to the technical analysis. So last week, this is just a reminder slide of what happened very fast in a week. It was astonishing. We saw the 6.2 support, but what was interesting, the 7,000 USD per Bitcoin resistance, and we advised that 7.2 thousand per Bitcoin was a breaking level for the 8K run, and that was the 23rd of last week at 1520, and we saw few hours after a huge increase in the price of Bitcoin until this morning to 9,500. So let's see this week and next week technical analysis what we think can happen. Just a reminder, the halving estimated time is the 12th of May, is estimated because it can vary a little because of mining difficulties, increase or decrease, and it will be explained after from my colleague Larry in the Bitcoin valuation. Let's go back to the technical analysis. We increased the support level from last week from 6,000 to 7.3 thousand per Bitcoin, a huge increase in the support level. We see many traders having their stop loss way above the support at 7.8 thousand per Bitcoin, and we saw the resistance around 9.2 thousand per Bitcoin. Yesterday night, this morning, Bitcoin went to 9,500 and retraced back to 9,000 just now. It's a very hectic time for us. So what influenced this movement, this fast and big movement over the past 2 days? We can see that many volumes, many buy order comes from spot market. This time, it's people creating price movement on the spot market, not on the future, not on the leverage, but on spot. This can be because people want to accumulate even more Bitcoin. Last week, if you remember, I saw many of you that participated last week. We pointed out that the rate of accumulation of Bitcoin was 75,000 Bitcoin per day, and this it's increasing because of the fear of missing out the halving bull run. Actually reminds me, Coinbase just said that their exchange was blocked for a few hours because of the huge amount of traffic trying to buy Bitcoin, and this feels like to be back in 2016-17 before the Bitcoin bull run. We saw a lot of indicators on the moving averages, on the very technical analysis of the Bitcoin price. The price now, it's above all of the moving average. If you can see on the right side of the screen, moving average from 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, and 100 periods have been break upwards without any retracement. So this is a very clear bullish shine. From the oscillators point of view, we see just the stochastic, which is a sell oscillators indicators. I mean, not all are perfect. We believe that we are on the buy side. We see some neutral hint and a lot more buy hints. So we feel that we are on the bullish run. Lastly, before to pass the speech to Larry to show you how to value Bitcoin, it is useful to understand how crypto allocation can be useful for hedge in a highly diversified portfolio. If we look in a retrospective view, this is year-to-date performance of FTSE DAX, SME, S&P, and NASDAQ against the top 5 crypto. And we see these huge differences.